we had to get to the Bill Maher thing. This is why can I keep you guys for like 10 more minutes so we can talk about this Bill Maher thing. So
a new thing?
Oh yeah. So Bill Maher was led around children, and I don't know why. Can we play the beginning? So this is how he saunters in to this event. Yeah. I guess he's on speaking with some kids on
the Club Random podcast.
Club Random. It's a bit, but he walks in with a bottle of booze. And let's just start right there.
Bill talks to kids. Oh, this is like
hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Kyle.
And you're?
And I'm Beverly.
Beverly, of course.
Okay,
now,
so it's interesting because this is not actually the clip that I thought we'd play with him coming in with a drink. This is a different clip of him entering a conversation and putting a drink down. So every time he does this, he has a drink in his hand.
He's drinking the whole time. Yes, I mean, look.
And it's not even, this one is even less like, it doesn't even really acknowledge it. It's just like, I'm going to be drinking when I talk to these kids. It's not actually a bit.
No, it's not. It's not a bit. Right. He needs to be drunk at all times when he's doing his podcast. Like, we have fun on our debate coverage or the DNC coverage because it's at night and we're like having a good time doing a stream.
And we're not making content out of children.
And we're not interacting with minors. We played that clip of Bill Maher being extremely creepy with that girl Haley who got famous for the Haktua thing, but has other ambitions, and he was like trying to act as her mentor while being extremely creepy. So you can go back and look at that. And then
there's like so much I would love to know about being a 21-year-old girl.
There's an excerpt. He was widely kind of criticized and made fun of for being a total like creepazoid, and then follows that up with Let's Talk to Kids segment, and didn't have the wherewithal to be like, maybe I won't show up totally blasted to interview children.
Well, let's keep it on the shot.
Yeah.
And listen, I don't mean to. Go ahead, Brendan.
And she's like stumbles out piss drunk, like a handle of vodka in hand, like reeking of weed, and it's just like, okay, kids, let's rap. Just the worst youth pastor.
I also don't mean to like cast too many aspersions, but that's a heavy glass too. That thing just like thumped itself on the table.
It's just like, dude, just for this podcast with children one time, because remember that story about the guy from Jackass, Steve-O? Yes. Steve-O was going to go on Club Random, but he's sober and asked kindly, Bill Maher, could you not smoke weed or drink on the show when I appear? And Bill Maher said, no, you're like, I refuse, and you can't come on the show
I'm
now.
addicted.
But somehow everyone else is the asshole and not you. But here he is with children talking for some reason about Sofia Vergara.
Advice from an alcoholic would have made maybe a better
tagline.
He holds a snowflake.
But as someone who actually never watched Modern Family, tell me what the setup is and who the character is.
So it's a traditional family, kind of 2 parents, 3 kids.
Yuck.
Yeah.
What? 2 parents, 3 kids. What? The parents are like a man and a woman?
Yeah.
What? That's ridiculous.
And then it's gay parents with an adoptive daughter.
Okay.
And then a very young wife and a very old husband with a kid.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Played by Sofia Vergara for the young.
Oh, Sofia, she's hot, huh? So.
I just let me just go back.
No. We have to go back. We need total silence to just embrace this cringe here. Okay. So first of all, he's complaining about, or he's making bizarre statements about culture.
How woke Modern Family is.
About wokeness to these little children. They're like, okay. And then he makes a crack about how there's nothing wrong with an older man being with a younger woman to these girls who are 12, 10, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then a very young wife and a very old husband with a kid.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Played by Sofia Vergara for the young.
Oh, Sofia Viagra, she's hot, huh? So
They're laughing like
I don't know who those people are. Okay, so and then so a gay couple, And then no Eskimos?
I don't know what that word is.
Eskimo?
Oh my God.
You know what an Eskimo is, no?
Okay, we
Eskimo
got
are
it.
the indigenous people.
Eskimo's a slur, actually.
Yeah, it's not the right thing to say. He just
Well,
said
he's- why
Sophia
not go around?
Viagra to those little girls.
And some freak laughed off mic. You could hear the people just that they reference like they're going laughing like crazy because Bill Maher just used a child as a set piece to make a Viagra joke for the enjoyment of some adults off screen.
But like, I think somebody, when I was making fun of this clip online, pointed out like, how is this different from they specifically referenced like whitest kids but I would say the whitest kids they cultivated an entire show regarding this kind of humor and like more shock humor. This is seemingly coming out of nowhere. Like he just suddenly started interviewing kids. This is like the negative universe. Kids say the darndest things,
Right.
But like it's just wildly inappropriate.
It's grooming. The way he's like,
Yes.
oh, they're gay, so like we have an opinion about that, right? Oh, and he's grooming these kids. This is another little segment here where he said,
I hope their parents were in full view.
their parents should be ashamed of themselves.
Well, yeah. I mean, they may have not known. I don't know.
Well, they know now because this was fucking gross, and you should not put your kids in this sort of situation.
Yeah.
It's a style.
Oh, now, like I'm
Yeah.
old.
No, it's like literally my brother, he has old like pair of jeans when he was like 12 and they should fit me actually, but sometimes they're a little long. I have these one jeans that are like actually big rips that I think it was his or it was my sister's, but they actually fit me pretty nice and I like to wear them to school.
So did you wear the same kind of clothes when you started out life as a boy? I assume you're both transitioned. I assume you were a boy as a child and you were a girl. I mean, that's...
What?
No?
What?
No? Oh, well, I thought everybody these days was transitioned. No. You actually was born.
Yeah, I was.
And you were born a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. So whatever kink, whatever you're into, whatever weird stuff you're into is fine with me. Nothing weird about it.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so.
Oh my God. I'm in shock. I have nothing to
Someone
say.
has to flash the Chris Hansen signal in the sky and have him just walk out. This is becoming a bit of a problem. I don't understand. This reminds me of that Nathan Fielder thing where like a lot of his jokes involve kid actors, and you can see like the kind of the underarching point is that like parents will let their kids do a lot of things to let them be famous. And this is another example of that, but it's just so weird to see him, I guess, become like this. Like this is just not the style of humor he was doing before, and he's not even prepared to talk to children. Like I think
What humor?
He's grooming
Exactly.
the kid. Like the older boy that's like, no, like that uncomfortable laughter is Bill Maher conditioning that kid or pressuring him toward a condition where he thinks that shit is embarrassing or like trans stuff is a joke.
Kids don't think this is funny. These jokes are for like 50-year-old men, like, 50-plus-year-old men who are like Bill Maher. Like kids don't find this stuff as funny. I mean, maybe griped out 19-year-olds online, but that's not these kids. These are like Gen Alphas. Like they grow up with like this stuff.
Yeah, and the
That's what he's
premise
trying
is
to
that
counteract.
the premise of all these hysterical gender fixated reactionary fucks is that all young kids are just bombarded with this stuff. These people don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
The little kids. I mean, honestly, the reality is that just trans kids are a very small fraction of the population in this country. We played the clip with Matt Walsh where he bloviated on Joe Rogan and said there were 1 million kids transitioning, and like they looked it up and it was in the thousands, like the lower thousands. I forget exactly what the figure was. And so he's just hysterical about it. But then at the same time in the previous clip, I mean, he's doing more than grooming about ideology about trans kids. He literally said to those girls, there's nothing wrong with an older man being with a younger woman.
And then so Sophia Viagra, like
get this guy get this guy away from children. We have one more, and this is just to make a point about how this person. First of all, HBO. maybe like have a sit down with this guy, okay? About your club
How
random
about
host.
cut bait and move the fuck on? It's not 2000 anymore. Not that he was that good then anyway.
They tripled down because he's also now on CNN on the weekends where they replay his show.
It's crazy they fired him for the 9/11 stuff, but not this.
But not this.
Yeah.
Right. All right, here we go.
Oh, I'm going down a rabbit hole again. Okay, so you're on the internet. Your Wikipedia goes from one site to the next. What if it leads you to some place where you don't think you should probably be? Because I hear from parents, not that I'm one, but I hear they're very worried about what their kids are seeing on the internet.
I don't think I go on bad websites or
But
anything.
you could, right?
Yeah, if it takes me to one, I just exit it because there's nothing that.
Well, I mean, say you're interested in like climate change, so you start looking on that. That's a big issue. I mean, your kids are worried about it for a good reason. Okay, climate. It leads you to weather. Then you're looking up stuff about the weather. Then it leads you to Stormy Daniels. All right, now you're into porn. Now you're into a porn site. What do you?
What?
I exit it.
There you go.
There you go.
You hear that, Paige?
Yeah.
If that happens to you, you're going to do the same thing?
Can we get off the subject of porn?
Clearly, the Hawk Tuah girl was just like too intellectually developed for his bits, and so he had to go down like younger. That's no shade to her. Like she's a young woman, so like this is like classic. I hate to say it, classic PDF file. Grooming. Like you start at younger and younger women because like they become more and more immune to your charms the older they get. It's he's really spiraling. It's sad to see.
Genuinely, don't leave your kids with this guy.
I don't mean to be like this is like some Karen-esque of me, but if I was watching this, I'd call the police potentially, or at least like think about it.
Yeah.
I would
If the parents were not there, if the parents were not in the room, I would call the police. Like this is like not really acceptable. I think to put on like
It's not acceptable
To air it.
to be drunk and talk to children about pornography.
the amount of innuendo contained in these remarks, talking to children, and this man is 68 years old.
He's just saying it.
Right. I more mean in the sense of like he's sort of like he's trying to act as if he's almost like too slick for these kids by being like nothing wrong with that, right? I like younger women. Like it is one of the most nauseating things I've ever watched.
Like innuendo is what happens on like an episode of Family Feud where like Steve Harvey asks like, what would you hate to walk into your bedroom and see? And like,
what's bigger than a bread box?
Yeah.
Like, my parents doing it, Steve.
Yeah, and Steve just goes.
Right. And then he'll saunter around for like a minute and be like,
Yeah.
Say that again. Say that again.
And if the person, and the same thing, I hate to bring up kids say the darndest things again because obviously the host of that was no role model.
True.
But like when kids, the purpose of those kinds of shows is that kids are supposed to say the inappropriate thing or like the vaguely inappropriate thing, and then you go like, "What do you know about that little man? What do you know about that little girl?" And then they just like they laugh, and the audience of all adults laugh too.
Yeah, the candor makes the adults sort of uncomfortable, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've become party to a crime watching this.
Me too.
I
I don't even have commentary. I want this out there for the world to see. That's all. This is what people should see, that this is who Bill Maher is. There you go.
I'm just surprised, just like the Hawk Tuah interview, that it just happens in public. Like he just does this in public and people go, oh, this is a joke. This sounds like one of those transcripts from To Catch a Predator when they just read like what the pervert was sending to like the perverted justice people, where it's just like, what are you wearing? Oh, I wish I could see you in that. And it's just like very like weird stuff.
I know. All right, guys, we're gonna read some IMs and then get out of here now. I need a shower. Yes. Rob from Dedham. Bill Maher is the type to get outraged at the drag story time at the library, but as soon as he gets two kids in front of them, hey kids, do you know what a blumpkin is?
Yeah, Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, honestly. PDF files. So wait, Bill Maher's a PDF file for cracking sick jokes to children, but taking kids to strip shows and drag shows is perfectly fine and should be encouraged. Nothing bad there. Maher's grooming and drag queens stripping and twerking aren't.
Yeah, well, I don't think Drag Queen Story Hour is as bad as what Bill Maher just did. No, I think you're a fucking loser if you equivocate those two. So yeah.
But thanks for being a paid member.
Stupid asshole. Thanks for your money. Keep it.
Keep
make
it
sure those
coming.
details are updated when that card expires.
Will from Indiana. I cannot believe I ever used to find Bill Maher insightful or funny. He is so gross, and I hate that MFer so much. Granted, 8 years ago I was 14 years old, but even still, this is so messed up, and I'm glad, and many others have seen the light about him. He should not be within 500 feet of kids ever.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.